50 mind-blowing geography facts from around the world. Earth looks familiar, but hidden across this planet are places so strange, they feel unreal. Boiling rivers, burning craters, hidden continents, backward waterfalls, and mysteries still unexplained. These are 50 mind-blowing geography facts that prove our world is far stranger than we imagine. 50. The Boiling River. Deep in Peru's Amazon rainforest, the Chennai-Timpishka River reaches temperatures hot enough to burn skin. Some areas are nearly boiling, despite there being no nearby volcanoes. The heat rises from geothermal systems deep underground. 49. Earth's lightning capital. At Lake Maracaibo in Venezuela, warm air and unique weather patterns create near-constant thunderstorms. Lightning can strike hundreds of times in a single night, turning the sky into a non-stop electric storm. 48. The Impossible Island. In the Philippines is one of the strangest geography puzzles on Earth. An island inside a lake, on an island, inside another lake, on another island. It sounds impossible, but it's completely real. 47. Blood Falls. In Antarctica, bright red water pours from a glacier into the frozen landscape below. The color comes from iron-rich water trapped underground for millions of years, which turns red when exposed to oxygen. 46. A town in one building. In Whittier, Alaska, most of the town's population lives in one large building. Apartments, offices, and services are all packed into a single structure because of the harsh climate. 45. Hidden continent. Zealandia is a giant landmass near New Zealand that lies mostly underwater. Though submerged, scientists consider it a continent due to its size and geology. 44. One time zone for China. China is geographically wide enough for 5 time zones, but the whole nation officially follows one standard time. In Western regions, this can make sunrise happen very late. 43. Door to Hell. In Turkmenistan, a gas crater known as the Door to Hell has been burning since 1971. It began after a drilling accident and was expected to stop quickly, but never did. 42. Russia versus Pluto. Russia covers more than 17 million square kilometers. That means its land area is larger than Pluto's total surface area. 41. The Green Sahara. Thousands of years ago, the Sahara Desert was full of lakes, rivers, grasslands, and wildlife. Climate changes slowly transformed it into the giant desert we know today. 40. Waterfalls that flow upward. At coastal cliffs in Ireland and the Faroe Islands, strong winds can be so powerful, they push falling water back upward into the air. 39. Canada's lakes. Canada has more lakes than any other country on Earth. In fact, it contains a huge percentage of the world's freshwater lakes. 38. Antarctica is a desert. Although covered in ice, Antarctica gets very little precipitation each year. Because of that, it is officially classified as a desert. 37. Australia is wider than the moon. The moon appears enormous in the sky, but its diameter is smaller than the width of Australia. 36. Greenland isn't green. Despite its name, Greenland is mostly covered by a thick ice sheet that spans much of the island. 35. Alaska's coastline. Alaska has an enormous coastline filled with bays, islands, and inlets, more than all other U.S. states combined. 34. Chile's extreme shape. Chile is one of the longest countries in the world, stretching thousands of kilometers north to south, while remaining surprisingly narrow. 33. Brazil's borders. Brazil borders nearly every country in South America, making it one of the most connected nations on the continent. 32. Empty Mongolia. Mongolia has vast open plains and very few people compared to its size, making it one of the least densely populated countries on Earth. 31. Africa in 4 hemispheres. Africa crosses both the equator and the prime meridian, placing parts of the continent in all 4 hemispheres. 30. The Nile flows north. Unlike what many people expect, the Nile River flows northward because rivers follow elevation, not compass directions. 29. Nepal's giants. Nepal is home to Mount Everest and many other towering peaks. It contains 8 of the world's 10 tallest mountains. 28. Mirror of the sky. After rainfall, Bolivia's Salar de Uyuni becomes a giant reflective surface so perfect, it can mirror the sky. 27. Finland's lakes. Finland has around 180,000 lakes, scattered across forests and countryside. giving it one of the most lake-filled landscapes on Earth. 26. Lake Baikal. Lake Baikal in Russia is the deepest lake in the world and stores an enormous amount of unfrozen freshwater. 25. Iceland is growing. Volcanic eruptions and lava flows continue to create new land in Iceland, slowly expanding parts of the island. 24. Hawaii is moving. Hawaii shifts slightly every year because the Pacific tectonic plate is constantly moving. 23. Desert meets ocean. In Namibia, giant sand dunes rise directly beside the Atlantic Ocean, creating one of Earth's most dramatic landscapes. 22. Singing beaches. Some beaches produce squeaking or singing sounds when walked on. The sound comes from the shape and movement of very dry sand grains. 21. Exploding lakes. In rare cases, certain lakes can suddenly release trapped gases like carbon dioxide, creating dangerous clouds that spread across nearby land. 20. Giant crystal cave. In Mexico, a cave was discovered with enormous crystals taller than people, formed over thousands of years in mineral-rich water. Japan changes shape. Frequent earthquakes and tectonic activity slowly reshape parts of Japan over long periods of time. 18. Madagascar's unique life. Because Madagascar was isolated for millions of years, it evolved plants and animals found nowhere else. 17. Amazon once reversed. Millions of years ago, geological changes caused the Amazon River to reverse direction and flow eastward. 16. New Zealand was settled late. Compared with many parts of the world, New Zealand was one of the last major lands reached and settled by humans. 15. Vanishing islands. Some tiny islands disappear beneath water during high tide and reappear when the tide goes back out. 14. Mountains still rising. Certain mountain ranges are still growing today because tectonic plates continue to collide beneath them. 13. Rivers underwater. Dense salty water can flow along the ocean floor like rivers, creating channels beneath the sea. 12. Man-made islands. Dubai created giant artificial islands by reshaping sand and coastline into visible patterns from above. 11. Pacific Ocean shrinking. In some areas, tectonic plate movement slowly causes parts of the Pacific Ocean basin to become smaller. 10. Earth's highest point isn't Everest. Most people assume Mount Everest is the farthest point from Earth's center. But because our planet bulges around the equator, Mount Chimborazo in Ecuador is actually farther from Earth's center than Everest. So technically, Everest is the tallest above sea level, but not the farthest into space. 9. Caves deeper than skyscrapers. Some caves go more than 2 kilometers deep underground. That's deeper than many skyscrapers are tall. Inside these caves are underground rivers, total darkness, and chambers humans have barely explored. Entire hidden worlds exist beneath our feet. 8. Deserts that suddenly bloom. Some deserts look lifeless for years. Then after rare rainfall they explode into color. Millions of dormant seeds buried in the sand suddenly awaken, covering the landscape with flowers. A dead-looking desert can transform into paradise almost overnight. 7. Places where the sun doesn't set. In parts of Norway, Alaska, and other Arctic regions, the sun can remain visible at midnight during summer. For weeks, darkness barely arrives. Imagine checking the time at 1 a.m. and seeing full daylight outside. 6. Maps are lying to you. Many world maps distort the real size of countries. Greenland often appears as large as Africa, but Africa is actually many times bigger. The flat maps we grow up with can completely change how we imagine the world. In powerful earthquakes, land can suddenly sink, rise, or block rivers. When that happens, entire new lakes can appear in a matter of hours or days. A blank landscape can become water almost instantly. Earth is moving right now. You feel perfectly still, but you are not. The Earth spins at incredible speed, orbits the sun, and moves through the galaxy, all while tectonic plates slowly shift beneath you. Even standing still, you are constantly moving. Continents are drifting apart. Every continent on Earth is slowly moving. Millions of years ago, they were joined in a supercontinent called Pangaea. Today they continue drifting a few centimeters each year. The map of the future will not look like today's map. The Himalayas are still rising. The Himalayas exist because India crashed into Asia. That collision is still happening. Even now, the mountains continue to rise slightly each year. Some of the tallest mountains on Earth are still growing. We still barely know Earth. We've sent machines into space. We've landed on the moon. But large parts of Earth's deep oceans, underground cave systems, and remote regions remain unexplored. The greatest mystery may not be another planet. It may be our own. Earth isn't just our home. It's one of the strangest worlds imaginable. So tell me, which fact shocked you most? And subscribe for more videos that make Earth feel unreal.